Welcome to the Python beginner tutorial. If you have never written any line of code or have no idea where to start, this program is made for you. So I'm assuming that you have already installed Python and you have chosen a text editor to work on. So today we are just going to be looking at data types and variables. Data types basically speaks of the types of data. Programming is working with information. All this information is of various types. So just like if someone was to ask you for your email address, you will not give them your mobile phone number. That's because that's different types of data. So in Python, we have few data types. I'm just going to talk about the basic one. So the first one I want to talk about is strings. So basically strings are anything that is made up of characters. So made up of characters. So another type is integers. So integers are whole numbers. Whole numbers. So basically numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 million, 10,000 and everything. So another one I want to talk about is floats. So float speaks of fractions. Fractions. So your 1,5, 2.75, and so on and so forth. And the last one I want to talk about in terms of data types is Boolean values. Boolean values are used to define something that can only have one of two possible outcomes. For example, if your mom asks you, did you turn off the lights? It's either you say, yes, I turned them off, or no. So there is no maybe. So there's only one of two possible answers to that question. To define a Boolean in programming, or in Python to be specific, we use true or false. So true represents all positive values. Yes, on, done, and basically each and every value is a positive value except false. So false, we use it to represent negative values like no, off, and so on and so forth. So another thing we work with as programmers is variables, which is the last thing we're going to cover today, variables. So variables are just used to store data. So someone will say, why would we need to store data? So imagine if you are using an app like maybe Facebook or YouTube or whatever, and then you want to log in. And to log in, it asks you for your email and your password. So imagine that each and every page you go to on that platform, you have to re-enter your email and password. So that will basically become annoying. One of the reasons it's able to just allow you to enter your email and your password once is because it's able to store the values that you have entered somewhere. So one of the places we can store values is a variable. So variables are temporary storages. So think of like your lunchbox. Your lunchbox, you only put food in your lunchbox when you are intending to use them in the nearby future. So to create a variable in Python is quite simple. You just need to give it a name. So for example, I'm gonna say a name like this, and then the an equal sign, and then I just write my name. Right. So when someone wants to ask for my age, or my program asks for my age, or I want to store the user's age, I give it a name, and then I just give it a value. The best practice of naming variables is that you should give your variable a name that describes the type of data it stores. This will not make your program any better or any worse, but it will make it easy for you to work with your program and to remember what type of value you are storing in your variable. So for example, if I wanted to store my email, as your user's email, I would create a variable called email so that I can enter, an email. So there's no way that I can mistake this variable that it's storing a mobile phone number or my age or my name by the name. Yes, I can store a name, my age or my name, but since I intended to store an email, I have something to remind me. So meaning if I come back 2 or 3 days or even a month later and I read my code, I can remember that this variable stores an email address or data that is considered an email.